This novel sounds like it's going to take us on quite a ride. A deep dive into the wild world of motherhood, right? I mean, just the title alone, Nightbitch, tells you this isn't your average parenting story.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Yoder definitely doesn't hold back. What really struck me about this book is how it just throws that whole perfect mom idea out the window. It gets real fast about the messy, complicated reality of being a mom. It makes you wonder why we don't see this kind of honesty more often.
Totally. We meet our main character. She's a new mom, trying to balance it all, a demanding job, which honestly, she seems to be rocking, but there's something off. Something strange is happening to her physically, mentally,
Yeah,
like she's becoming something else.
right. It's like her body is betraying her almost. Yoder describes her as becoming more her hirsute, which basically means hairier, but not in a normal way. It's like this outward sign of something deeper, something wilder starting to break through.
And that's before she goes full night bitch.
Right. Exactly. This transformation, it's gradual. You see her frustration building. She feels invisible, ignored. There's this primal anger brewing beneath the surface. Yoder just nails those intense emotions that I think a lot of new mothers experience but don't always have the words for.
And then night bitch emerges. It's like this unleashing, this primal side of her personality just explodes. She's shedding all those societal expectations, all the pressure to be perfect.
It's like she's wrestling for control, her conscious mind battling with something more instinctive, something darker. Yoder makes you question, is this night bitch real, or is it all in her head?
Things get pretty intense. I mean, there's that whole incident with the cat.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say it doesn't end well for the cat. It really shows how far she's willing to go. But it also makes you wonder, is this a breaking point for her or a breakthrough?
It raises such a huge question, right? Like, what does it really mean to break free from all the expectations and limitations placed on women, especially mothers? Yoder doesn't give any easy answers. She forces us to confront those darker, messier aspects of human nature.
And then she throws even more into the mix by bringing in these other mothers, all these different sides of motherhood.
Absolutely. You've got Jen, who is like the picture perfect entrepreneur selling these herbal remedies that promise blissful, effortless motherhood, which is obviously like a huge dig at the unrealistic expectations placed on women.
And then there's Wanda White, this anthropologist who studies magical women. Now, she's a character I definitely want to unpack more because her whole field guide to magical women feels really important to understanding what our main character is going through.
Oh, totally. Wanda and her field guide, they bring in this whole idea of the unbelievable. Like, what if we embrace the things we don't understand? What if those strange, inexplicable parts of ourselves hold some kind of deeper truth?
This whole idea of the unbelievable, it's not just a literary device, it's a way of experiencing the world, isn't it?
Exactly. And through embracing the unbelievable, our protagonist starts to find a sense of freedom, a way to connect with her primal instincts without judgment.
And it's not just about her internal transformation, though that's a big part of it. Yoder also uses the field guide to magical women to explore different archetypes of motherhood women who embrace their power in unconventional ways.
Think about the flickering mothers, these women who seem to vanish and reappear at will. It's a fascinating way to explore the very real experiences of mothers who feel overwhelmed, invisible, and struggling to find their place in a world that often prioritizes the ideal mother.
That's a really powerful connection to the unbelievable because it's not just about fantasies or stories. It's about reflecting on the very real emotions that women, and especially mothers, often face.
It's about confronting those hidden, unspoken truths.
Right. Now, we've talked about Jen and her herbal remedies, which you perfectly described as a satirical take on the unrealistic expectations placed on mothers. But what about the husband in all of this? He doesn't seem to be too supportive of her journey, does he?
The husband, throughout the novel, remains largely oblivious to his wife's internal struggles. He represents the societal forces that dismiss and diminish women's experiences.
It's like he's stuck in this traditional, logical way of thinking while she's diving into this chaotic, primal world. That's why the grocery store scene is so crucial.
You mean the scene where she's in a state of overload, sensory overload, and she's consumed by these primal urges, especially for raw meat?
Exactly. It's a pivotal scene, and it's made even more powerful by Yoder's descriptions, the smells of the grocery store, the way she's drawn to the raw flesh, the way she buys an absurd amount of meat. It's like her animal instincts are taking over.
And the scene with her son at the Mommy and Me restaurant where she devours her meal with her hands. It's a far cry from the picture-perfect mother image, and it challenges us to think about the hypocrisy of those expectations.
It's almost like she's saying, You want me to be this nurturing, calm mother? Fine. But I'm also a wild animal, and that side of me is going to come out, even if it makes everyone uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And then there's that whole incident with the cat.
Oh, the cat. That's a moment that's both disturbing and thought-provoking. It's like her transformation is no longer just an internal struggle. It's spilling out into the real world, and the consequences are real.
That scene with the cat is like a physical manifestation of the anger and frustration the protagonist has been suppressing for so long. And the reaction of the son, the way he's excited by the violence, is chilling. It's a reminder of the cyclical nature of trauma.
It's a bleak reflection of the world we live in, where violence is often normalized, and those in power, especially women, are often silenced.
And yet, despite the darkness, Yoder manages to inject moments of humor and tenderness. It's like she's reminding us that even in the midst of chaos and transformation, there's still room for love, for connection, for play.
Like that scene at the park where the protagonist lets her son pretend to be a dog.
Hmm.
It's so unexpected and yet so powerful. It's a testament to the enduring bond between mother and child, a bond that transcends even the wildest transformations.
It's a reminder that love and empathy can be found in the most surprising places.
So our protagonist is on this journey. She's navigating this new identity. She's grappling with the aftermath of the cat incident. How does she move forward?
She tries to reconnect with her old life a little bit. Remember those old friends from grad school?
The artists,
Yeah.
the intellectuals,
Yeah,
the ones who haven't totally succumbed to the pressures of parenthood.
right. They symbolize everything she's left behind, and when she has dinner with them, it's like two worlds colliding.
And it doesn't exactly go smoothly, does it?
It's a disaster, honestly. She's looking for validation for someone to understand her struggle, but it backfires. And Yoder blends this humor and heartbreak so well, you can't help but feel for her, even as she's unraveling.
And that's when she really goes all in on Nightbitch, right? After that disastrous dinner.
She retreats to the woods. It's like she's surrendering to her primal instincts. Yoder's descriptions are so vivid, you can practically feel the damp earth and smell the leaves. It's this really powerful exploration of raw feminine energy.
And then there's the performance. The bone animals, the music, the sheer energy of it. It's like she's finally giving voice to everything she's been holding inside.
And don't forget those Siberian weremothers. They play such a crucial role in this final act. They're like this mythical representation of everything she's becoming.
Right, these fierce protective women existing outside of societal norms. It's like they embody this untamed feminine energy that our protagonist is tapping into.
It makes you wonder if that energy, that primal power exists in all women, just waiting to be unleashed.
That's a powerful thought. But the performance itself, it's pretty controversial, right? I mean, that whole thing with the bunny?
It's definitely not easy to read about, but you have to consider the context. It's not just about violence. It's a ritual, a primal act that connects her to something bigger than herself. It's about reclaiming her power.
And the audience's reaction is so divided. Some are horrified, others are completely mesmerized. It's like she's forcing everyone to confront their own discomfort with female power.
Especially when it's expressed in ways we don't expect or approve of.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, it's her son who sees her for who she truly is, who accepts her completely.
It's a testament to the power of unconditional love to see beyond appearances and societal expectations.
This book stays with you long after you finish it.
Equally.
Nightbitch isn't just about motherhood. It's about identity and transformation and embracing the wildness within all of us. So what do you think? What resonates with you? Maybe you have questions. Maybe you have feelings. Maybe you just want to howl at the moon. Whatever it is, let this be a reminder that sometimes the most profound transformations happen when we least expect them.